Holy smoke, yes, it ain't no joke, yes, XRP holders. XRP just hit its lowest point since November of 24. Does this mean that XRP is going to $1, or is this the low point and XRP can recover? We'll talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly about the current situation in the market. Also, I have a new partner on the channel that might be just beautiful for this type of scenario. We'll talk about that as well. So make sure to watch all the way to the end of the video. All I ask from you is that you give me a beautiful smile to send out those good vibes. Smishity smash that like button. Smishity smash that like button. You know what my theory is behind the likes on my videos and XRP. I'm just saying. Recently, you guys have been lazy with the likes, and look what happened to XRP. I'm just saying. Please read the disclaimer. Of course, there's no real straight correlation between the two, but who knows? So right now, XRP is sitting at $1.12, down 4% on the day. XRP actually dropped under that support level that we saw on October 10th. Sorry, on February 5th and 6th. And so that level has been broken. We saw XRP drop. What's this yellow? It's kind of confusing. Let me delete that. Here we go. We have this level that you can see. It tried one time, came back up a little bit, and then pulled back down under that, creating a new low, a local low. It's not a low at 109. I actually want to chart that out, but I'll chart it out a little bit differently. Maybe make it a different color. Here we go. And maybe let's make it a different color so we know that not green. Let's make it, I don't know, yellowish, right? Okay, but that's confusing because I use yellow. Let's use this. Okay. And so then we have that area as a new low. I'll change that later. I don't like it, but we're not going to waste too much time on it. Bitcoin also dropping here to 62,000. The low here was 61. It did not get to the support level or the level that we saw back on February 5th, but it's getting close. So actually, Bitcoin is the only one that hasn't either touched that or gone under that. In the top four, Ethereum dropped under, right? Ethereum is at 1,600 right now. Wawawiwa, right, down 6.5%. Solana down to 65. Solana was just at 100, right? Just what was this, like 2 weeks ago, where it popped up to 100, almost 100, and now down. How much is that? 35% since then. Wow. Also down 5%. Cardano is getting hit hard, down 10, almost 10%. The one that's getting hit big time today is ZEC. There's a reason why. I'll explain towards the end of the video. So if you're interested in that, watch all the way to the end. But now the question is here, okay, so this happened. Now what? Now, the Crypto Fear and Greed Index is not in single digits. So I don't know, maybe tonight it will be. But when we look at times like this in the past, we've learned that there's higher probability that these kinds of areas are lows. Now, it doesn't mean that this is the lowest point of the pullback. And I'll show you in just a second specific things that have happened in previous cycles, specifically with Bitcoin and the 200 moving average, right? The SMA, the simple moving average, that has a lot of people excited, but also that there could be a little bit more pullback here. So we'll talk about that in just a second. But first, I want to talk about our new partner on the channel. Now, right now, the market isn't great. Some people will say, you know, that this is an opportunity for long-term investing, right? Again, this is your prerogative. You have to decide if you want to buy the dip or run to the hills. Again, it's up to you on what you want to do. Of course, this video is for educational purposes, for entertainment purposes only, not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence before you decide to invest. But this opportunity could be a possibility for long-term investing, right? And our new partner on the channel, it's actually an old partner that we partnered with a few years back, and we're teaming up with them again, is iTrust Capital. Okay, iTrust Capital gives you the possibility to invest in the crypto market thinking long term, not 2 years down the line, not 3 years down the line, but 20 years down the line, 30 years down the line. Okay. I don't know how old you are, but on iTrust Capital, you can buy and sell crypto, gold, and silver with your IRA. Okay. Now, gives us the possibility, right, to legally save a significant amount of money going towards the end, right? And you can see here it says tax advantages. You also will get a $100 funding bonus once you sign up. So you sign up, you get that $100 bonus. And if you don't know what an IRA is, and you don't have an IRA, or you don't have a Roth IRA, or you don't have a 401k, and you live in the US, run and do that, right? Or just learn about it because of compound interest and these tools that the government is giving you, it's a no-brainer, right? I have, one from previous life cycles, and I think every single person should at least look into these kinds of things, right? With an IRA, you do pay the taxes when you take out your RMDs, when you hit your retirement age, but a regular IRA. But all those years until then, compound interest. Just this is an amazing opportunity. Now, we don't know what the crypto markets could give us, but this could be huge, okay? Again, potentially. So we'll see how this current partnership is going to be, I think, beautiful one. I think that my viewers are going to really like iTrust Capital. So again, this is a partnership. The link is an affiliate link. And if you do use my link, I will get a commission. So thank you for that. Now back to what's happening, right? Currently, the market sentiment and XRP isn't great, right? Price action isn't great, but it's the whole crypto market. So now I just want to talk about some good things. Then we'll get to the SMA, and then we'll get to why ZEC is actually crashing. So Ripple RLUSD goes multi-chain via wormholes native token transfer, enabling cross-border payments and tokenization across 40+ blockchain ecosystem. So another opening for RLUSD for the XRP ecosystem. Also, we are getting an upgrade to the XRP ledger. The core software powering XRPL is changing its name from Ripple to XRPLD. This transaction will require some updates for infrastructure operators. We're preparing detailed playbook to help guide through the upgrade process. So it's good to upgrade the network. You'll see there's the second why it's so important, right, with the ZEC. But this is one of the pluses around XRP is that the company behind XRP is Ripple. And it's not just a, rinky-dinky company. It's a very established developers, software developers, infrastructure developers. And so all these employees are making sure that what happened in ZEC, we'll get to that in just a second, doesn't happen to XRP. So that, gives me confidence over other things. Now let's talk about the 200 moving average, and then we'll get back to ZEC, okay? So right now, everybody is looking at this 200 SMA, talking about how Bitcoin, every time that it's touched it, it bounced off of it, except in 2022, when it dropped under. I think we can see a little bit better in this graph. You can see every time we touched it, it bounced up, right? Touched, bounced up. Now, it did move under here and here, but every time it got to that area, we did see a run up. Now, everybody's looking at this and saying, oh, well, now it's the time to run up. And Benjamin says, midterm years always feel really bad for crypto. This time, even more so since we topped on apathy, right? Usually what happens is you have the banana zone and everybody's so happy. And then, okay, so we pull back. We know this was going to happen. Well, this time we didn't have that banana zone. So it feels even more, worse because we didn't experience the high. While many cryptocurrencies will, fizzle out, he thinks, of course, Bitcoin will survive. I think so too, but I think also that others will survive. I think the top 5 will survive. There might be a new top 5 in 4 or 5 years from now, but I think that those ones are the ones that have been able to establish themselves enough. In earlier cycles, 2017, even 2021, some of the top 5, the top 10 fell out. Also now, but I think the top five have established themselves enough to continue to be the top five in 4 or 5 years from now. But we'll see. Anything can happen and anything can change. Someone can come in. But we're already seeing some cracks, right? Forward Industries, the largest Solana treasury company, moved almost 500,000 Solana, worth 31 million, to Coinbase Prime, sparking fields of possible sales. The company now sits on $1 billion unrealized loss from its 6.8 million SOL holdings. Also, Tom Lee, right, and his company are probably sitting on some big losses as well. It will be interesting to see if they come out buying more. We talked about Saylor in a very long portion of last night's video and that whole possibility. So it will be interesting to see how many of um, these companies, right, treasury companies, end up selling off. If you remember, I don't know if it was like 6 months ago, I think maybe, there was all these companies putting crypto on their balance sheets. And at that time, I was concerned. I said, I don't know, this feels to me like a recipe for disaster, because this was before October 10th even. I was like, I think that they're going to freak out. And as soon as the market starts pulling back, they're going to start selling it all. And I think that's what's happening, right? Because we were getting headlines when all of them were adding to their balance sheet, but we're not getting the headlines now that they're probably selling off. And that could be something else that is creating pressure. Many companies may be diversified into those Bitcoin ETFs and now are selling off. And we have seen that there's been, I think it's like 11 or 12 days consecutive outflows on these ETFs, on the Bitcoin ETFs. So all of this, I was fearful that that was a recipe for disaster. So far, right, in the short term, it is. But long term, we'll see. We'll see what happens with this. Maybe this is just, a trink on the radar that we're not going to forget, that we're going to forget in a year from now or 2 years from now. I'll probably remember, because I talk about this every single day. And I remember most of these kinds of pullbacks of what happened, but not every single one. Like if I go and I look at the graph right now and I look at a specific pullback, let's say just here, I don't know what was going on here, why we were pulling back, right? Or what was going on here. I don't know. This was October 10th. Okay. This was after October 10th. So this, I understand what was happening, but I don't know. This sell off here. I don't know what happened here. Why did we sell off in this week here? Why was there a 30% sell off in Bitcoin in 7 days? I don't remember. In July of 24, I don't remember. Right. So I think maybe this sell off could be one of those. We'll see. We'll see. Because there's no real reason why the crypto market and Bitcoin has been selling off since you could say it's a technical thing because it broke that the trend, right? So that could have been the possibility. But it's ever since Clarity Act moved past the banking committee, we're seeing the whole crypto market sell off. So again, interesting. Let's talk about ZEC, because I promised you that we talk about it, and I want to show the other side of not having a competent company behind the asset, right? So basically, there was an exploit that people found. Actually, Claude, I think, found it. And Arthur Hayes just tweeted out that they have dumped their entire ZEC bag. And so recently, he actually said that he bought Near and Near popped. Now he says that he dumped ZEC and ZEC sold off significantly. Basically, what happens basically there was an exploit and it was allowing people to create fake tokens. They knew about this exploit, but it was only patched on the beginning of this month and it came out. So now we're seeing, this massive sell-off. And so again, this reminds us that anything can happen. We don't know exactly, what will be in a token, and there's always risks in the market. Like it was funny because just before that, it was doing good. It was having a good days, and then this came out and shabam, right? So even though it's like a double whammy because the market is selling off, so it even dropped, even lower here back to 250, but kind of bounce back a little bit, but still, there's always going to be these kinds of types of scenarios, and we have to take into consideration that that's going to happen. And listen, it's not just the crypto markets right now; they're selling off. The Asian markets are selling off strong. South Korean was actually down 7.5. It has bounced back a little bit. It's now, it says here in the community note, at 5% down, but even 5% is a big whammy. So we'll see what happens with the stock market. How's the stock market open up? Overnight trading is actually down on the chips and AI related stocks. I'll talk about that in the stock market video on the stock market channel. Again, if you're interested, check out the new stock market channel here, Moneymaker Stocks, if you're interested in that. We already are over 1,000 subscribers, and it's already monetized, so that's cool, right? A new channel that had no videos 2 weeks ago, now monetized. So if you're also watching the stock channel, thank you for that. And I Trust Capital. Again, if you're interested in this and you already have an IRA and you want to add to your IRA crypto, this is a great opportunity to do so. They again, like I said, we had partnered with them previously, and now we're back at it. So very, very interesting partnership there with I Trust Capital. Link is in the description down below. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you next time. And like I always say, let's make a lot of money.